everyone, Tina here with Tina's Inspired Art. Welcome once again to my channel. Today I have something a little special for you all to see. I am not working on a regular canvas. You'll see exactly what it is at the very end of this video. It's something completely different and you will not believe what it actually is. While it looks like a canvas and it's has a white background like I normally do work on. There's occasions when I have a different color background, but this is a white background, but I didn't paint it. It came like this. And I am going in without a base coat. I am completely doing this without a base coat. And I'm putting down my acrylic inks. These are not acrylic paints. These are acrylic inks that I mix up with my Floetrol. So you can mix your acrylic inks similar to your acrylic paints. And I do use probably on a 1-to-1 ratio, acrylic ink to acrylic, or acrylic ink the same amount to the Floetrol. It could vary a little bit, so I'm still testing this out, but it looks as though I'm doing a 1-to-1 ratio. It's fluid like my acrylic paints. I put them in my squeeze bottles, and these are going to be all in a variety of different blue shades and blue-green shades. So all acrylic inks on this surprise background. Stay to the very end because you're not going to believe what I'm working on. Something completely different. And I think you're really going to think this is cool. So yeah, so now I'm just putting on my first layer, drawing out my design of what I want it to look like. Of course, botanical, and I will be doing the botanical technique to this. But as I said earlier, this is not with a base layer. So a similar technique, but I'm using the background, which is white, as my base layer, and I'm putting enough paint, acrylic ink, I'm calling it paint, acrylic ink on this canvas-like substrate, and because it's very, very smooth, has a very, very smooth background, I am going to be able to maneuver this ink across my canvas in various directions. I will be using an air tool today. It's an air brush. I won't be using my air dryer, so it's going to be super cool. If you've seen my other videos, my more recent videos, I've been using the airbrush on my smaller canvases, and it's worked out really nicely. I can control the airflow a little bit and the direction, and I'm finding it so much fun to work with. A little pricier than a hair dryer, but I am using it, and I'm absolutely loving using this as a tool. You'll see me work it, and I'm going to be putting it in fast mode during that piece of it because it does take quite a bit of time to blow it out, but you'll see me blowing it out and seeing the ultimate design that I'm creating. So that there was like an aqua green. I just laid on it, and you can see the design's looking really pretty, very branch-like, very botanical. This is kind of like a viridian green color. But yeah, I'm gonna let you watch as I layer on these paints, and I'll come back in just a little bit. All right, so now I am in the process of blowing this out, not with my normal hair dryer, but with an airbrush. And I absolutely love using this airbrush. I have a constant stream of air going through it, and I can adjust my angle so easily, let off the airflow easily, and just really have a lot of control of where I want that air to be blown. And because I draw out my design ahead of time, creating that botanical look, I feel like I'm just drawing with air and forcing the paint, in this case my ink mixture, in the direction of how I drew it on my surface. And so I just am in love with my process of how I'm creating these little pieces of art. And of course you're going to find out what it is I'm painting on top of. It's completely smooth. It's easy to maneuver and slide that paint on the surface. I am loving it. It's so fun. So yeah, just stay to the end, guys, and I am going to reveal exactly what this is. And I think you're absolutely going to love it. So enjoy the process. I'm going to finish blowing this out, and then I am going to start creating with the botanical technique very shortly. All right, so now it's time to perform the botanical technique on this pretty little painting I'm doing. And I'm basically doing it in the same fashion I would when there is a base layer. But what I'm finding with this surface that I'm painted on, it's very slippery. And because it doesn't have that base layer, you will find that, yes, I'm using the end of my paintbrush, but there are times that I'm going to, which I don't normally do when I have a base layer, is I might be using my paintbrush in the same area a couple of times to reveal that underneath layer that I'm working on, because it is so slippery. The acrylic inks are a little thinner, and so to maneuver the paint and draw those lines is a little bit more difficult, I'd say, but I still can achieve that look by taking the same line a couple of times. And then you'll also see me use a different tool for drawing my lines, and it's basically, it looks like a little rubber end on a paintbrush, and you can use this tool to take paint off your canvas working with acrylics, and this is a really good tool to remove the paint off of this particular surface as well. So you'll see that, there it is. I'm using that tool to remove the paint. I'm just kind of sliding it in there, grabbing that paint, and wiping it off on my paper towel or rag, whatever I'm using. And so it's making it a little bit easier for me, I'm finding, on this type of substrate. So yeah, I bet you're looking forward to hearing what this substrate is, because it is not canvas, guys. It is something different. But yeah, so look at these results. I think it blew out really, really nice. The design came out super pretty, very botanical looking, the colors swirling together, very kind of ocean vibe it gives me with the color intertwining with each other. And I just think it came out really, really pretty. And yeah, stay to the next part, because you'll see what I'm going to be doing to this piece once it dries. So we are not finished yet. We are going to enhance this by working with some relief outliner to really enhance those petals on this particular surface. I really like how using this type of medium can just help you just to paint on those thin little lines you want to create some really cool interest on your paintings. And so that's what I'm doing here with this Pebeo Studios Relief Outliner. And now you can see that I'm taking my paintbrush, and I like to do that where maybe it got too thick or I went outside of a line where I didn't like it. I can just smooth it over by using my paintbrush. And sometimes I like to use a little dotting tool as well to just thin out those areas that got a little bit too thick and not as smooth as I would have liked it to be. But all in all, I really think I love using this little outliner. I've done it on several of my paintings. I like to draw with it. It gives me a lot of control. And here you can see that I am using the little dotting tool to get in those areas where I wanted to just manipulate it and smooth it out a little bit. So there's all different ways that you can work on your substrate and create the intentional outlining that you want by utilizing different tools while you're working on your substrate. So I like to have those available to me when I need them. But I really think she came out super pretty. Look at there, look, all outlined and super pretty. I'm getting ready to reveal what is this. It's super thin, as you can see. It's got a shiny background, and it's really lightweight. It really shows off the design quite nicely. So we're almost there, guys. Hang tight. All right, guys, it's time for the big reveal. That's right, it's a magnet. We painted on a very large magnet. I think it's about 16 by 20 inches, so it's a good size. Let me know in the comments below if you liked it, if you like my design. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave me a comment below. Let me know if you like this kind of design. And until next time, guys, go check out my website at tinasinspiredart.com, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.